We are on the sheep 144 compatibility combinations. And we're going to be going over sheep male with all 12 female signs in compatibilities. Starting with sheep male and rat female. So let's go ahead and get into this. Both are charming and capable of great warmth and tenderness, but that is where the similarities end. The rat wife is resourceful, inquisitive, and hardworking. The sheep husband is likely to take life too easy for his industrious spouse. She saves and treasures money while he splurges and indulges his whims. She is alert, practical, and level-headed. He is creative, but emotional and sometimes indolent. She can be fussy and fault-finding when irked, and he finds her too shrewd and conniving to deal with. There may not be a great deal of give and take in this union, since the partners have difficulty understanding each other. So it's almost like, in a way, the roles are kind of reversed in this situation. I kind of get this feeling that the sheep characteristics are more like the right brain. So it's going to be more creative, but more emotional, more like not really grounded, I guess. Not to say that that's a bad thing because, it's like an artist, but it's kind of like the starving artist type, I guess. More sensitive type. Sheep male and ox female. The sheep is artistic and leisurely. He must savor and enjoy life as he pleases. Although the ox lady is dutiful enough to keep house and take good care of her family, she will not relish his indulgent and impractical demands. But he must be loved and appreciated to bring out the best in him. Her emphasis on order and discipline will be too constricting for the sheep. She is resolute and uncompromising and feels she must make optimum use of her time and energy. He is artistic and must wait for the right mood to strike him. She is impatient and scornful of his soft ways, and he is thoroughly averse to regimentation and being pushed around. Drastic compromises are needed for this pair to cohabit peacefully. Yeah, definitely with the more practical signs, it'd be a challenge, I believe. And the ox female naturally has more of the masculine traits. They're more logical, they're more level-headed. They're practical, they're simple, right? That is definitely a masculine trait. And then, of course, that would clash with the free-flowing artisticness of the sheep male. Sheep male and tiger female. The sheep is a domestic soul and needs affection and understanding. The tiger lady is temperamental and unconventional. He is easily hurt by her sudden bursts of fury and dramatic scenes. A genteel soul, he needs a quiet and comfortable home. She prefers a fast life and cannot tolerate his unhurried and worrying ways. She is too strong for his liking, and he is too weak to handle her effectively. Both may end up dissatisfied in this combination. Yeah, so he's more of a homebody type, prefers to be home and cuddle, versus her persona is more like, I want to go out and have fun on the town. I want to paint the town red, I want to just I don't want to get into emotional stuff and all that kind of stuff, right? So, sheep male and rabbit female. These two personalities may be compatible to a high degree. If the astute and inscrutably suave rabbit wife takes the lead, she can help the sheep achieve great things with his inherent talents. The rabbit is suitably gentle for the sentimental and at times passive sheep, but she is also decisive and shrewd where he tends to be too generous or compassionate. She will provide him with the right environment to work in, and he will be grateful for her guidance and subtle way of steering him onto the right path. Both are sensitive to and solicitous of each other's moods. In this marriage, they could accumulate more than just love and happiness. Okay, so Um, Granted that the rabbit female is agile enough, successful enough to keep up the finances more, right? And to be more grounded for both her and the sheep male. So, because he might be more so wanting to do freelance work, freelance artistic work might be more suitable for the sheep male. And I mean, they could both be freelancers, I guess, but if she's going to be the one to take the lead, especially since rabbits are not naturally, they don't, they're not naturally wanting to be in the leadership role. They want to be behind the scenes. They prefer that. So in this case, they could still get along really well, but that's if it's with a rabbit female that actually enjoys and likes to be the leader in the role. Sheep male and dragon female. This will be a moderately workable arrangement. The sheep might be fascinated by the dragon's brilliance and dominant ways. She, on the other hand, could be drawn to his kindness, devotion, and sincerity. On the darker side, sheep may be too timid to go along with the dragon's super ambitious undertakings, and she may find him too reserved and unadventurous to suit her. He will be able to depend on her for encouragement, but she could push him beyond his level of endurance. Each will have a trying time in this union. So it's not altogether bad, but at the same sense, um, it's not going to be easy, right, for that union to happen. As long as the sheep has bravery to push the limits and get out of their comfort zone, I think that's what would make it work out a lot better. And at the same sense, the sheep could teach the dragon how to be more gentle and kind and tap into the emotional side, right? All right. So, sheep male and snake female. Things will not be completely idyllic in this marriage, but it could work out if each party makes a sincere effort. Both are materialistic and receptive to beauty and refinement. These characteristics could seal their union. However, the sheep lacks the perseverance of the scheming snake. She, on the other hand, could be too secretive and distrustful for the sensitive sheep to tolerate. She is calculating and guided by her wisdom, while he is emotional and led by his artistic inclinations. They will occasionally disapprove of each other's behavior, but still find much they can agree upon, surprisingly. The snake's unfaltering determination could be a valuable asset for the sheep to cling to. So even though they're not naturally compatible, and there could be some trust issues there for sure, maybe some passive aggressive arguments and, those types of things that couples would have. But the snake does not give up so easily, especially if they're not being completely turned off and there's still some kind of, they do enjoy that warmth, cozy comfort, and intimate type of energy that they get from the sheep. So that could very well be the thing that can hold it together more. So, sheep male and horse female. He is domesticated and home loving and will provide a secure base for the freedom loving horse lady, and her happy and affable nature will counterbalance his depressed moods. He may be jealous and possessive while she is independent and impulsive, but the horse will not take the sheep's self-pitying ways too seriously. She is capable, delightful, and quick at sensing delicate signals. He could curb her restless ways by providing her with enough variety and attractive options to stay and spice up his life. This could be a strong and possible enduring marriage. Okay. So he doesn't mind the unpredictability, even though there could be obviously some jealousy there, especially if you're like an emotional type, and you need that reassurance and security and intimacy. And someone's very outgoing and complete opposite, and they're very independent and unpredictable. But then again, it shows that there is some give there, that it's still possible to work through those things. Nothing clashes too much in personalities. So, all right. So, sheep male and sheep female. The sheep cares deeply for the welfare of his family, but in this combination, the sheep wife may turn out to be the stronger of the two. Both love luxury and dependency too much, but they could succeed as a unit if they combine their strengths. He will assume responsibility when there is no one else around to do so, and she loves to be the power behind the scene. Both are good homemakers and compassionate enough to put up with each other's weak points. They should be careful about being too protective or indulgent with their children, though. Okay. Sheep male and monkey female. There is no deep or permanent attraction here, as the monkey is too complicated and egotistical for the sheep. Because he is so much more subdued in taste and action, all her expertise and craftiness will only upset and annoy him. He cannot keep up with her inconsiderate demands, no matter how good-natured or obliging he may be. She is clever and appealing and will use his weak points to manipulate him. He is creative, pure-minded, and compassionate. But these qualities will go unappreciated since the monkey prefers someone who is more shrewd and conniving. Yeah, that one doesn't sound like a good match. Sheep male and rooster female. He is kind-hearted and considerate enough to make a sincere effort at anything. She loves to investigate, analyze, and administer other people's lives. He is pessimistic and subjective. She is optimistic and objective. Her energetic and fearless attitude could intimidate the sensitive and unobtrusive sheep. He finds her too meticulous, argumentative, and sharp for his taste. She, on the other hand, will say it is difficult to deal with someone so sentimental and self-indulgent. They have vast dissimilarities in their basic outlooks, which may prevent them from enduring each other's peculiarities easily. So, yeah, not much in common there, I guess. Sheep male and dog female. This relationship will probably not work because the realistic dog will naturally criticize the sheep's indulgence and enumerate his weaknesses, making him more pessimistic than ever. While she is reasonable and affectionate, she is not always willing to tell the little white lies necessary to placate the sheep's touchy feelings. He needs a lot of compassion and support to be able to put his best foot forward. But the unsympathetic and hardy dog can be irked by his complaints and self-gratification. There's not much congeniality to go around, as each tends to bring out the other's negative traits. So there's not really much mercy in that one. And it just kind of funnels like a cycle of, like being put down. And it just sounds like something that the dog would be too stubborn to give in, or be too stubborn to want to compromise and give him some of the reassurance, emotional, fulfilling reassurance that the sheep might need. So, and last but not least, we have the sheep male and the boar female. A sound marriage will result because of the obvious lack of friction. Neither minds make concessions, and both prefer activities centered around the home. So they're both homebodies naturally. The boar is gregarious and not as sensitive as the sheep, who may take offense easily because of his reticent nature. She is less extravagant too, and could be more sociable and outgoing, therefore reducing his shyness. On the other hand, he can make up for her lack of refinement and is responsive to her ardent need for warmth and togetherness. So that kind of a union sounds like more emotional fulfillment can happen because they're on the same level of needs. They both need the warmth, the like the cuddling and intimacy, being close and reserved and homebody. So that one probably sounds the most harmonious out of all of them. But that's what I have for the sheep. Peace out.